guys, Amy here from Plans Meet Paper, and today I wanted to come on and give you guys a look into my 2023 planner. And it might come as a shock to some of you guys, but for 2023 I am actually going digital. I am doing all of my planning this year here on my iPad with a stylus, and I wanted to show you guys today how, even though I am going digital for 2023, it's actually pretty much an identical system and method of planning that I have always done in my file of facts, in my paper and pen planning that I've always done. I'm just doing it in a digital format on the GoodNotes app on my iPad. That's something that I have been interested in for quite a while, but just didn't ever take the time to look into very thoroughly. And as I have spent time trying it out and using it for about the past 4 months, I've come to realize that it's something that is really going to work for me, I think, because it's exactly the same method that I've always used. I'm actually using the exact same digital inserts that I sell in my Etsy shop that I've been using for years. I'm using the half-letter version of my Plans Meet Paper inserts here on my iPad in the GoodNotes app, and I'm just writing in them just like I would with a pen on paper, and it works really well. It's essentially the exact same system that I've been using for years in my file of facts, but just transferred into a digital format. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing my 2023 planner setup. I will go ahead and flip the camera around and give you a look onto my iPad screen to show you how I've got all the sections set up and how I'm planning for this year. So here is my 2023 digital planner, and I've got this here in the GoodNotes app. And so this is the cover that I created for it. I just typed out the fruits of the spirit just because that was something I wanted to keep in the front of my brain this year. And then I go straight into my year at a glance, just for reference, all the dates for each month. I've got just a blank .grid page that shows the future dates for years and after this year. I do have all of my months in 2023 in this planner, but after that I just track it on this blank .grid page. And then I set up this planner in December. So I went ahead and started with a December calendar and a December monthly tracker and monthly to-do list. So this kind of shows how the month of December went. These habits over here are the things that I try to get done once a week approximately, and then I check them off as I get them done. You can see that these are the weeks of the year up here, or excuse me, the weeks of the month, the dates for each Sunday. And then over here, these are just to-do items for the whole month, kind of just a brain dump for the month. And then it goes into the weeks for December, and I'll just kind of scroll through those quickly. But you can see the basic layout that I have been using in this planner since I set it up, and that is just that I do a week on one page here on the left-hand side. I am enjoying using a Sunday start right now. And then on the right-hand side, I have a to-do list for the week and dinner plans for the week usually. This was kind of a weird week because it was holidays and we were still kind of traveling and getting home, and so I didn't actually plan dinners that week, but usually that's where I write it. And then this is my, these are like day-specific tasks, and these tasks over here can get done any day throughout the week whenever I have a chance. So then it goes into January. So this is what January is looking like so far for 2023. You can see I'm using the same planning system or method that I was using in my paper planner for the past several years. And I think that's why this digital method is working for me. I've never been able to make a digital planner work for me before, but I think this particular method is working for me. I've been using it for about 4 months now. And it's working for me because it is literally exactly the same as what I do on paper, which is, but just on a iPad instead. And I just use this monthly grid to write all of my appointments and day-specific tasks for the month. And then I do use one color of highlighter for the month. And I just highlight things that I really want to stand out to me, or that are like things that are out of the house especially, or very time specific. Then I make sure I highlight those as well. So far, I am also using my monthly spread to track some things from my Apple Watch. I got an Apple Watch, I don't know, probably in November, because my other fitness watch wasn't working so good anymore. And so I've started just wanting to keep track of when I close my rings, just for fun. I'm sure if you've been following my channel for a while, you might know I'm having a baby very soon. So I'm sure that these rings will not be getting closed a lot of the time right after the baby's born. But on days that I am closing my rings, I'm just using this little dot to mark that. And then the check mark is marking off which days I got over 10,000 steps. As you can see, it's easier for me to get 10,000 steps than it is for me to close my rings. And so it's kind of fun to just track both, just to see how things are going. So yeah, that's what I've got going on for my monthly view. I like how you can zoom in really easily in this GoodNotes app. So if you want to write something really neatly, you can, like that. But then you can also zoom out so you can see the whole month at a glance. And then of course, since it's digital, you can really choose any color of highlighter or pen, literally any color that you want, because you can just kind of drag and drop on the whole spectrum of colors. And so for January, I chose this nice light blue color. Here is my weekly or monthly habit tracker for the month of January so far, my to-do list. And I'm just checking things off as I get them done. As you can see, these are the things that I try to get done once a week. A lot of these are kind of like Fly Lady cleaning tasks. So like this is my Fly Lady weekly home blessing. Some of these, this is kind of like the Friday errand day, clean out your car stuff for Fly Lady. This is the Tuesday plan and pay day. I have tweaked it to fit my life better, but a lot of these things do come from the Fly Lady system. In case you're wondering, I do have a lot of videos about that on my channel as well. So check out my playlists if you want to see more information about my weekly, daily, monthly habits with the Fly Lady system. So from there, it goes into my weekly pages, and I will just show you guys a kind of how, even though this is digital, you can still sort of have tabs, so to say. And that is by using this function up here in the corner, these little boxes. That allows you to separate it into an outline. So far, we've done the 2023 year at a glance, December and January. And you can see it just goes through the rest of the months. That's what the next mini sections are, all the way through December of 2023. And right now, I don't have weekly pages in between all of those months. Like if you go to April, I've got my monthly page, I've got my monthly tracker, and then it goes straight into May. I plan to just add the monthly page or the weekly pages in as I get to each month, just in case I want to change layouts. It's really easy to add a layout in between pages in this GoodNotes app. So I just wanted to leave that open-ended for myself for the rest of the year after January. Right now, I don't see myself changing weekly layouts anytime soon because I'm really happy with the week on one page and to-do list style. So after all of my months, I have my daily pages. So I'll show you what that section looks like. For the daily pages, I have this daily habit tracker. So this page right here is for the whole week. You can see these are the dates: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Often I don't end up actually tracking on Saturday. I don't know why, but I usually end up still doing most of these things, but I just kind of give myself a little bit more slack on the weekend, so I don't always track it. But these are my things that I check off, that I try to get done every day. I don't always do them, but they're just things that are my typical habits and goals, daily goals, like spending individual time with my kids or packing lunch for my husband on the days that he's working, making sure I'm reading Bible stories to my kids every day. They're just like the things that I ideally want to get done, but sometimes they tend to slip through the cracks if you don't prioritize them. So that is why I like to track them in this habit tracker format. And then right next to my habit tracker is where I do my daily page. So this is what my daily page typically looks like. I just write down on dot grid paper the date, and then I write down any time specific or full day activities, and then I write down all of the to-dos or notes for the day, and then I do my devotional at the bottom of the page. And that works really well for me. I was doing that pretty much for all of the previous year, and so I'm just kind of sticking with that for this year as well. I like to do my devotional on the daily page because it keeps that focus kind of front and center in my mind throughout the day as I'm referring back to my to-do list. So I enjoy that. That is my daily section. After the daily pages, the next thing is my reference section. So I'll flip to that next. And that is where I keep track of any notes for medical information or dental information for myself, for my kids. Of course, this stuff is private, so right now I just stuck these little sticky notes on top of what I've written there just to keep it private. And that is another fun feature in the GoodNotes app, is you can really easily make these little, I think they're called, what did they call it? Icons or something. But there's built-in sticky notes like this yellow one that are included, or you can literally take like any photo offline or that you already have on your computer. So this gray sticky note is one that I had from a different file already on my computer, and I just put it in here so I could use it as a sticky note throughout my planner. So that's just covering up private information. I've got info on my dog's health, haircut reference for me and for my husband and my kids. I cut their hair, my husband and my kids' hair, because they have short hair. I just do my best. So I keep notes on the settings that I use on our clippers to try to keep it somewhat consistent, but it's never perfect. And then this is where I go to get my haircut. I've just got the contact information for my hairstylist there because I go very infrequently, so I would definitely forget if I didn't write it down. Next, I have our packing list information. So this is something I love to have in my planner, is a packing list. It says camping packing list, but I actually use it for pretty much any time we go on a trip. If you have little kids or even just an imagination, I'm sure you can, think that there's a ton of things you have to bring with little kids, especially babies. So a lot of this stuff my kids are currently grown out of, but we're about to have a newborn. So the season will start back over here soon. But it's very easy to forget things like extra pacifiers or pump cleaning parts or things like that. And so it's really nice to have a very detailed packing list. And then you can check things off when you're packing to go on your trip or highlight them, which is how it is right now. And then you can do the same thing, either erase the highlight or highlight it again or whatever when you are packing to go home to make sure you don't forget anything wherever you went. So that has been really nice to have with me. And this GoodNotes app is also available for iPhone. So I can access my to-do list really easily from my iPhone as well as my iPad, which is nice. So that is the first thing. Next, I've got my account hints and password usernames and password hints. So I have several pages of that. Of course, I've covered it up for privacy, but I just write down the account name, the username, and then my hint to myself for the password. Lots of pages of that. And that is the rest of my reference section. This next section is let's see what I called it here, meal planning section. And so the first thing I've got here is just some handy lists of meals that we like to make frequently using different proteins. So chicken meals, ground beef or ground turkey meals, ground pork meals, and seafood meals. We do also make quite a few of these vegetarian sometimes, but it's easy for me to just take the meat out and I don't even have to think about vegetarian meals necessarily. I just cook these same things without the meat if I don't have meat on hand. So that is just for reference for myself when I'm meal planning. I also this is my running grocery list. I have one for Walmart, one for Costco, and then this is for other stores. And this one is for Trader Joe's, which we don't live close to. So we haven't been there in a year. And whenever we do make it, which who knows when that will be, I want to get these 3 things there. So I've had that list there for forever, and we'll see if I ever actually end up getting those things. But over here on the right-hand side, these are the staples that I get almost weekly from Walmart or, King Soopers or whatever store I happen to go to that week. And then these are the staples for Costco that we get very frequently from there. That's just helpful to have so that when I'm making my actual list for the week on this side, I can just refer to this and make sure I don't forget to add milk to the list or add eggs to the list, or those other things that are the staple items. Next, I have my Fly Lady Control Journal section, which is right here. And this is where I'm tracking my zone cleaning for all of the zones of my house for this year. So I've got zone 1, zone 2. Zone 1 is the entryway and dining room. Zone 2 is the kitchen. Zone 3 for me is my kids' rooms and their bathroom. Zone 4 is the master bedroom and bathroom. And then zone 5 is living room, basement, and extra stuff. And then I start over with zone 1. You can see I have been cranking out the zone cleaning tasks. I think I've got almost every single one done for the month of January so far. That is kind of where I've been and why I haven't been filming videos in a very timely manner. I've been doing a lot of baby prep because my 3rd baby is due any day now. And I've been trying to get a lot of those kind of nesting things done before he comes or before I'm so big that I can't handle them. So that is what I've been doing, is a lot of cleaning, and I've gotten ahead on my zone cleaning for this month because I'm sure once he comes, I will not be getting any of these deep cleaning tasks done for quite some time. Definitely not this month, probably not next month, maybe the month after too, just until I'm back on my feet again. Next is the weekly habits page. This is a blank version of that kind of my monthly page that I use to track all the things I try to get done once a month. So if I just need a blank version of it for some reason, I can come and grab it from here. So I don't plan on actually writing on this page. This is kind of just the page that I will come to if I wanted to copy and paste it somewhere else in my planner. I hope that makes sense. Same thing with this page. This is my weekly habits, or they're actually daily habits, but this page I use once a week. So every week when I'm setting up my week, I come to this page, I click copy, and then I can paste it right next to wherever I'm writing for that week for my daily pages. So this is the template that I am using. I really like this. As you can see, this is the same template that I was using in my paper planner. This whole system is exactly what I was using when I was printing pages out and putting them in a file of facts. This is a 7-column tracker, and I've just written in my daily tasks. I use a highlighter to separate the morning, afternoon, and evening tasks. And that's another nice thing on the iPad. It actually straightens the lines out for you when you highlight. So it looks like I'm really good at highlighting, but I'm not. It's just straightening it for me, which is nice. But anyways, I like having it on here as a template because, of course, routines change. I'm sure once my baby comes, these daily habits and things will need to be adjusted quite a bit. So it's really nice to just have it written out here as a template because it's super easy to come in, and if I need to, I can just erase something, erase that learning time in the morning and move it to some other time of the day, or whatever, to adjust your routine without having to, retype a bunch of stuff or print a bunch of extra pages out or anything else. It's just a very convenient method when you're doing digital planning to just be able to erase, rewrite on the template, and then copy and paste it to wherever you want it in your planner. So that is my Fly Lady Control Journal section. All of these sections are still a work in progress. I'm just adding to them as I find I need something. So that's all I've got in there right now. Next is my finance section. And of course, a lot of this information is private, so I've got it covered up with those same gray sticky notes, but hopefully you can get the gist of what's in there just from the pages. So the first thing I've got is my monthly bill tracker. So this is where I track the amounts for all of our different recurring bills throughout the year. I just decided to do 6 months at a time, and then I will add another page for the next 6 months. Just so that I could have it be in this orientation and still have plenty of space to write the actual amount, not be having to write really super small or anything. So I've got all my bills listed down this side, and then so far it's just January. I've got the amounts that we paid for each of those bills written down there, and I really like to track it this way because that way I can, throughout the year, refer to the previous months and see how our utility bills and things like that are going up and down throughout the year. And it kind of keeps us on track of managing our usage or our spending or whatever for these different bills. So I've got that bill tracker. I have my 2023 budget notes. So this is something I like to do a couple times a year, is kind of go in and just check in with all of our different accounts. Write down the totals, write down our goals for the different accounts or anything like that. I check in with our budgets, like how much we're budgeting for each category of spending, and make sure that those amounts still make sense for our life and for our savings goals. So I just kind of wrote those things down here. And then I have our savings plans or goals for the beginning part of this year. And again, I'm sure, especially at least halfway through the year, when I add in another bill tracker page, I will do this budget update page again as well and see kind of how our progress is going for the year. The other thing I like to track in my finance section are my three of the budgets that I actually track every week are our grocery budget, general shopping budget, and eating out budget. So I've covered up amounts for those with these sticky notes, but you can see the gist of it. I just once a week go in and write down our grocery everywhere that I went for grocery shopping that week, and then the amounts that we spent, total it up, subtract from our total budget so that I can see how much we have remaining for the rest of the month. This January shopping, that's usually, it's anything other than food, really. I do include paper towels and that kind of thing in with the grocery budget. And really these two budgets go together in the end. So if for some reason I go over on my January shopping budget, that needs to come out of the grocery budget or vice versa. So this is usually, most of the time, the things that I'm putting over here are Amazon purchases and or Target, because I don't actually buy a lot of food at Target, but sometimes we go there to get specific other shopping items. And then eating out is literally anything that I don't cook at my house. So takeout or restaurants or anything along those lines for the month, I would write here. And we're trying to reduce that right now. So we haven't been out so far this month. So yay for us. That is our finance section. The next section that I've got in my planner is, let's see what I named it, projects. That's the last one. And again, I'm only adding pages in here as I need them. So it's very short right now, and I'm sure it will get a lot longer throughout the year. Right now, my focus for the year has been 100% baby prep, all of the baby things to get done. So I just have this 2-column page that I've been using, and I just tracked all the things I wanted to get done before my baby came or comes. He is not here yet. And then what week of pregnancy I was hoping to complete that task in, just so that I could space it out and hopefully actually achieve all these goals. I'm almost done with it, so I'm proud of myself for that. But these are the different tasks that I've been working on for that project. And then I needed to update or at least kind of check in with the nursing clothes that I would need with the baby coming soon. So these were some things that I wanted to try to get for nursing clothes, or I'm just keeping my eyes out for. So that was what that list was for. We did purchase a new car recently because we needed a 3rd row car to fit 3 car seats. And so with that new car coming in, we had a list of a bunch of things that we needed to get done for the car. Still not quite done. We're waiting on some things. But that's my project list for that. I had a planner setup list when I was setting up this digital planner. Thank you cards for Christmas that I needed to send. And then I also have a page for my son's birthday, which is coming up at the beginning of February, just with some simple things that he will enjoy, I think, or has asked for his birthday. Like he really wants vanilla cake this year with rainbow sprinkles. So just trying to make sure that I can make some of those simple little wishes come true, even though his birthday is going to be right after I give birth to this 3rd baby. I just have been trying to plan ahead a little bit to make sure that his day is still special too. The last thing I've got in here is just something I've written down to help myself start preparing for being a mom of 3. I get anxious as the time gets closer about how I'm going to handle a newborn and a toddler and a preschooler all at the same time. And so I've just written out kind of a sample schedule for how I might do that. When would the baby maybe eat, and what could we do between? How would I fit things in? I'm sure that this will be adjusted and shifted and changed, and it might not work at all depending on the personality of our little guy that's coming. But this at least kind of calms my mind as I prepare and gives me a place to start of what might work to be able to fit in my other kids' activities and needs with the needs of our newborn. So I've just been jotting some thoughts down for that. So that is it for my 2023 planner so far. As I mentioned, I'm adding pages to the planner as I need them, so I'm sure it will be added to and adjusted throughout the year. It is really easy to add pages in this GoodNotes format. You just hit this plus page up here, and then you can click more from templates. I've got a whole section in my templates for all of my pages that I sell in my Etsy shop. These are the half-letter pages, and they work really well in this GoodNotes app on an iPad. So like, for instance, if I wanted to add another 2-column page, I would just click this half-letter dot grid 2-column, click apply, and it's going to add that page to wherever I am in the planner, which right now is at the end. But you can do it right in the middle as well. And any template that you want, you can just go ahead and add it in wherever you need it throughout the year. If you accidentally add in too many pages, super easy to just delete a page, move page to trash, and then it's gone. So I'm really enjoying this digital format so far. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what my 2023 planner setup looked like, even though it is totally different from what I've done in the past. It's also totally the same because it's really the same planning method, just on an iPad instead of on paper in a file of facts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please feel free to leave them in the comment box down below. I love chatting with you guys down there, and I will look forward to filming more videos for you soon. Thanks. Bye.